Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to the comfy, cozy, comfortable, I said comfy already, community show. But that's not what's important. What's important is today. Our topic for today is, like I had talked about a couple of episodes ago, or quite possibly just one episode ago, because I think I missed last week. Bucket lists. Now, this is an interesting concept. I'm not sure if I've talked about this before on my channel. I probably should have checked. But a bucket list, we all know what that is, right? It's the things you want to do before you kick the bucket. And I was thinking about this, honestly, because of a Distractable episode that I was listening to. If you don't know what that is, that's a podcast over there. I listen to it on the Spotify. It's fairly interesting and funny and entertaining, which is the important part. It's gotta be entertaining, otherwise why am I watching this, eh? But anyway, apart from that, I was watching this episode and they're listening to this episode, and they're talking about bucket lists. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't really have too much of a bucket list myself because I kind of do things as they occur to me. Now, naturally, this is not always possible, especially if you have a fairly busy life. It's kind of harder for you to squeeze these things in, which is the whole point of a bucket list. Squeak! Is to get these things done before you die so you don't have to worry about them anymore, right? And I do have things on my bucket list, and it's more of things like, I guess you'd call them less bucket list and more just goals for life. Like, I want to have a book published by the time I'm dead. By the time I die, there we go. I don't care if I make too much money off it. Obviously, if it's like on my bucket list, I want to get a book published before I die. I want to be able to hold it in my hand and say, "This book with my name on it is my book. I did it. I did it, Ma. Look at your boy. Look at your boy over here." But that's what I want to do. I want a book. That's not obviously the only one, but that one I think is, like I said, more of a life goal than a bucket list item. More of a thing I wish to accomplish in my life rather than something I want to do before I die. Now, often we think about bucket list things as like adventures, and in a way, one of my biggest bucket list things is something I've been planning and wanting to do since I was a teenager. All thanks to this young lady who I dated for about a week. Actually, yeah, I dated her for 2 weeks. Because, no, it was 1 week. I dated her for 1 week, and then I didn't see her at all during that entire week. And then when I next saw her, she broke up with me. I'm like, wow, this is a fun relationship. It makes me happy. But apart from that, her and I talked one day. This was even before we were dating, because we were good friends up until she broke my heart. But that's all right. So we were talking about this, and she had some mental problems like me, very similar to us in aspect and whatnot. And she was talking about how she wanted to run away. And we were sitting there. I was sitting there, like, encouraging her, talking to her. Like, yeah, she wanted to run away to Florida. I'm like, I'm a stupid teenager in Arizona at the time. So, it's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Let's run across the freaking United States to Florida. And honestly, the more we were talking about it, the more I actually realized I actually want to do this. It's like, I didn't expect us to actually do it, but, I was fully moving forward with the idea in my head that this is something we will do. We will do this. But naturally, it came to the end of the conversation, and she's like, yeah, thanks for encouraging me. I know this is not really going to happen, but thanks anyway. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Happy to help. This is kind of what I'm here for, I got your back, fool. And ever since then, it's been like something I want to do. And more seriously, in the last couple of years, since my memory has been going to pot and my blood pressure skyrocketed and everything, especially, I want to walk across the United States. It's my plan. And you know what's funny? It's like I just looked it up. I'm like, what sort of trails could get me across the United States? And turns out there's actually a trail that goes from Maryland to California, all the way across the United States. The American Discovery Trail, and I can walk that. Apparently, the fastest it's been walked was 360 days, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna make it that way. I am definitely not gonna hit that goal. There's no way I can finish it in only a year. But it's definitely something I'm doing. I'm actually working towards doing that right now. Stock it up on hiking supplies and walking a lot. I want to get up to the point where I can walk about 15 miles a day. But the problem is, obviously, I don't have the time in the day to dedicate to that at the moment. So lately, it's just been 4 miles a day from my house to the beach and back. And so that's been my prep. I imagine once, like the year before I leave, which I'm aiming for after the kiddo graduates high school, so that, I don't have anyone who depends on me anymore, which is a bold-faced lie, because no matter how much I try, I've always got people depending on me. But it's because it's something I like to do, be a good guy, make people happy, support them, and all that stuff, Look at that. After the kiddo graduates high school, I want to do that. Mostly, honestly, I want to do it before I turn 40. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's cool, though. But there's more addendums to this. Like, the Great American Discovery Trail is a good goal, to be able to walk from sea to shining sea. That's what I want. But additionally, I also want to hit every single state in the Union and stay there for at least one night. I kind of like the idea of going to like some sort of a small town for a festival or something in one state. I don't want to hit the big cities. I don't really want to, but I imagine there's a few cities that I should probably hit, as a sort of bucket list item, like St. Louis and New York. I've been there before. I don't hate it, but it's way too much, way too busy. Yeah, I know that. I know there's a lot of people who talk about wanting to have mastered a skill by the time they die. But again, that's more like a life goal than anything. Me and my writing, I would like to do more of it before I die, but that's not really a bucket list item, you know what I mean? Things to look forward to. What sort of now I asked it, and I wanted to discuss a bit more in this episode, but obviously, given my low following and how little people actually watch my videos, I didn't get any response. But like, what sort of things do you have on your bucket list? What sort of ideas and plans do you have for when you're, reaching the end of your trail, as it were? Let me know about those down in the comments section down below. But that's going to be it for this topic. But I do have announcements. I've been having some issues with my capture card again, so we'll see if I can finish up Spider-Man eventually. I want to, obviously, but at this point I'm really frustrated. I could probably just go through and I haven't checked to see if it was just the cables who were being a problem. Like, when I turned it on, all I got through the computer was just the sound. And then I turned it off and reloaded it, and then I got nothing. So I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. But don't worry, I've got plenty of content for this week. I have one more episode of Spider-Man coming up. And then I have 2 episodes of A Fold Apart, if you remember that game. And then I have 4 episodes of Breathage. And really looking forward to showing you all that one. That one's kind of fun. But at the same time, I did encounter a bit of frustration with that game. and wherein things just weren't happening. But I do have an idea of all the things I need to take care of in that game, and it's going to be fun. And don't worry, we're not at a loss for any sort of stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, apart from all that, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this community show, and thank y'all for your continued support and patience. And yeah, thank y'all, and yeah, take care. Good night.